Hi, I'm Rajiv Surya. I'm a faculty in international business at the Barowsky School of Business at Dominican University, and we recently went to China in Beijing. We took a group of 31 MBA students on a consulting trip to one of the largest, or if not the largest, emerging market in the world. The students were very amazed about how China is as a place, as a marketplace, as a historical place, as a center of culture. Beijing is a center of culture in China. They were really positively surprised when they went on the trip, because they expected China to be having different kinds of regulations, which China does have. But when they went there, they found that people were pretty free and they were engaged very highly with their clients. I supervised 3 projects. One of the projects was to deal with a major bank in China, and the second one was a technology company that has a base in the US, in New York, and they're opening a base in San Francisco. Student teams had to work on devising a strategy to help the US team understand the Chinese team, and the Chinese team coordinate better work with the US team. So it was about conflict management and resolution. The third project was on a technology company, one of the largest technology firms in China. I think the students were really impressed about the Chinese architecture. The wow factor that we talk about in China today, the students experienced that. The buildings are simply amazing. The food is really amazing too. And some students had reservations about what kind of food they're going to have in China. But when they actually experienced the Chinese dishes, it was totally different, not what we see in the US about the Chinese food. China is a very entrepreneurial place, and they were very positively surprised by that. People talk about business all the time. People want to do business. People talk about money. And it's not like the classical model where China is the country where there's control about everything. So this is a new discovery for our students. And also when they interacted with the clients, a lot of them were US educated. So people knew the ethics or the ethical standards that we have here in the US, and how they were trying to raise the standard in China. The Great Wall experience was one of the highlights of the day, and this is a very, very unique piece of architecture. It is really one of the wonders of the world.
The two countries had a nice contrast for the students, because culturally, although they're different than the United States, they created an atmosphere where their students have to challenge their own cultural assumptions and deal with not only differences in time zone and food, but also differences in business practices and language. So I think between the 2 trips, our students have had great opportunities to get out there, do hands-on projects, and learn about consulting in a global business environment, and tackle specific questions related to various sectors and functional areas. So this last trip, we actually had a variety of sectors that were represented. One included a major art space called 798 Art District, and what they do is they have a series of galleries that are open for foreign as well as domestic artists and art gallery businesses. That particular project, they were looking for students to come up with some type of a promotional plan to help attract a major US gallery to become a tenant there. A company that does manufacturing of what are called actuators. And actuators are essentially the valves that are used in nuclear power. So this is an industrial business. And they wanted some assistance with respect to solving issues related to not only quality, but also worker productivity. One of the more interesting projects that we had was with a company that was essentially a startup, and they developed a unique technology, laser cutting technology, to engrave furniture and cabinetry and other types of products. And what they're looking to do is enter into the market.
Our first day of classes, they start their engagement with the client. We work on scheduling the first meeting with the client, the kickoff meeting, and we do that virtually. We did that via Skype. One of the other challenges I think with China in particular compared to Peru is that it's a 15-hour time difference. But hey, that's part of doing this type of work. We tried to prep them in advance of some of the subtleties and the differences of how the Chinese communicate and some of the aspects of the business practices. And so they actually got to see how that played out in a working relationship while they're on the projects. We'll get a message saying, oh, thank you, you did a great job on your report. We appreciate all your suggestions.